Hi guys, today I have the first update for Peeping Pan project. So this is of course a huge collaboration. I will have everyone linked down below. Make sure you go check them out. I still even haven't finished watching everyone's video. There are just so many collaborators, but it's a lot of fun. And of course the creators are Jessica and Amanda. Are you surprised? They will be linked down below as well. So pretty much this project, we're just trying to hit pan on as many products as possible, roll them out once we hit pan on them, and rolling new products to work on for the entire year pretty much. And I decided I just want to work on 4 products at a time, so it's not too overwhelming for me. I know some people did a lot of products all at once, and I just want to take it easy and just do 4 products at a time. So at the intro, I picked 3 products out of this one little quad. I figured I wanted to pan every shade in this little quad, and then I can make a conscious decision if I want to keep it or not. So this is my Physicians Formula Matte Collection Quad Eyeshadow, and the quad's color is called Canyon Classics. You can see that at the intro I had one shade that has pan in it already, and that pan I must have had for years. I don't even know, like it's been so long. And my goal is to hit pan on the other 3 shades that don't have pan yet. And this is where it is now. You can see that it looks quite different from the intro. So first of all, big elephant in the room, this shade is gone. I didn't finish using it. I accidentally dropped it on the floor and it just shattered away. And I think maybe because it had pan in it for years and it's just not holding onto itself really tight anymore, because all the other 3 shades were just fine, but that was the only one that crumbled away, and I just decided I don't care for it that much, so I just tossed it and I didn't bother to repress it or anything. And then I apparently hit pan on 2 shades, so I'm really happy about that. This one is a darker, kind of like purplish gray color, and I use it to fill in my eyebrows. So I hit pan on it actually pretty fast, and I made a decent sized pan too. I think this palette is just really old and it's just not really pigmented anymore, so that color actually isn't all that deep in my eyebrows. I even feel it's too light for my brows, which is kind of crazy, but it just tells you like this is not pigmented anymore, and it's really powdery, so I hit pan on it pretty fast. This one I recently hit pan, I think maybe just last week. I use this to set my entire eyelids after I use eye primer. It's not a huge pan, but you know, I'm happy with it. Again, this is very powdery and it doesn't have anything special, you know what I mean? And this one I'm still working on. I don't have pan in it yet, and I don't think I will hit pan anytime soon, but I am confident I can hit pan on it by next update. It's just still gonna probably take me like 3 weeks or so, I feel. This one surprisingly is actually very cool toned. It doesn't look like that in the pan, but on the eyes it looks extremely cool toned, and it's very different, and I've never really used a brown like that on my eyes, and I actually enjoy it. It's just different, you know? And this is what I have on my eyes today as a transition shade. I'm not sure if you can tell. It definitely is much deeper than it looks in here, and it just provides an interesting look, and I really appreciate it. So I'm gonna be continuing working on that, and those 2, since I have pan, they're gonna get rolled out. And the 4th product is from my MAC Light Sweep Shade Stir Sculpt and Shape Powder. So this one has 2 sides. It has a face powder side and a bronzer side. At the intro, you can see that I do have pan, but the pan was only on the face powder side. Actually, the line in the middle was like sharp clean, and I did not have any progress on that bronzer side. I used it and I had a dip, but it just doesn't have pan yet. And my goal was to just hit pan on that bronzer side. It could be a pan, it could be just the line isn't straight anymore. You know, just any visible pan or use in the bronzer side. So I managed to do that. I actually just hit pan on it, I think yesterday, and this is what it looks like now. It's a little hard to see, but you can see that line isn't straight anymore because the pan like went into the bronzer side a little bit, so I'm happy about that. I definitely consider that pan. This product lasted me 5 or 6 months, I feel, because I was trying to pan it last year in my rolling pan project, and it just took me forever. It did not go anywhere, and oh man, I'm so happy. This one is really densely packed in there. It barely has any kick up, and when I use this as a bronzer, well, this color itself is really dark and really deep. It's really hard to use, so I actually use my brush to swirl both of the sides in and then use it as a bronzer, and those two shades mixed together is what I have today on my face. So you can just tell that it's not a very easy to use bronzer for me, but the finish is pretty. I have to admit, if I wasn't panning it, I wouldn't get so tired of it and I wouldn't hate it so much, you know, but now I'm just kind of tired of it. But honestly, I think this is a good product. I'm gonna put it aside though. I think I really need a break from it. It's just been too long. So I'm really happy I hit pan on this one as well. All right, since I hit pan on 3 products, that means I'm gonna roll in 3 more. First one, I'm gonna bring out my big gun. So I really want to use my Naked palette a little bit. I just feel this palette came out early, and back then there wasn't any palettes quite like it, so it was like really hyped, and I have a lot of sentimental value attached to it. But I'm just thinking, like, is it worth it? If this palette is a new release, like right now, this year, this month, will we like it? Will we still go crazy after it and buy it? I don't know. I want to reevaluate where it is at now. It's been years since I touched it, and you can see I barely even have any use in it. It's a shame, but I really want to work on it a little bit. Not like a palette kind of use, but just kind of like try to test out the shades. And I realize it's so hard. Like, I try to think about what shades do I really want to use out of this palette, and I couldn't even decide because all those shades, they don't spark interest. I just don't feel inspired by them. And the only shade that I want to use, honestly, is right here. Gunmetal, yep. So I'm gonna put Gunmetal into this project, into the Peeping Pan. I think this color is interesting, and back then when I got this palette, I was like, oh no, I'm never gonna use those 2 shades, and I just want the rest of them, right? But now I'm kind of like, I don't care about those. Well, not the black either. Like, that's the shade I really like. And I think this little pink shade is interesting, Toasted, but I don't know. I think I'm just gonna work on this guy, and you really don't have any wear in it. I think I remember I've only used it once ever since I got the palette. So it's pretty much a brand new shade, and I hope I can make some damage. And then I have another crazy one because this one is a highlighter right here. This one is from Facetious Formula. It's the Powder Palette Mineral Glow Pearls in the color Translucent Pearl. This one I honestly think is a really good highlighter. Even with all those crazy good highlighters out there on the market right now, this one is still really good. I think it's just like back in the day, people don't really look into highlighters. It got overlooked, and now like with all those new releases, like this one just got neglected, but really, like, it's such a good highlighter. It's soft and it's creamy and it's just really nice. Look at that. It's not like the most crazy highlighter, let's be honest, but I think day to day, I don't want a crazy highlighter, you know? This is like what I really want to use. I do have a decent dip, I feel, or at least in the middle. All those pearl kind of like prints are gone. It's like flat in the middle. This used to be the highlighter that I have in my collection, the only highlighter for like years. So this is all that I used, so I think the use came from those years. I feel it's getting a little bit more powdery because it's getting old, and really in the middle I don't think I have too much product to go, so I think I can hit pan. If not in a month, 2-3 month-ish time, I think that's enough, and I just want to work on that. So after having 2 crazy products, I just want to have it balanced a little bit, so I went with a kind of boring product. This one came from a quad. This is a L'Oreal quad. I don't know what this line is called anymore. Anyways, the quad itself is in the shade 839 Coupa Joe. It's just a really basic matte quad. Right? Really boring, but I think it's a good companion palette, and I just kept it for that reason forever, and I weren't really using it, to be honest. So I really want to work on it a little bit and then try to test it out. Right now I want to focus on this deepest brown color right here, this one. And I know it's pretty deep and I probably wouldn't use it as an eyeshadow per se. I could, I mean, I'm not like having anything against it, but my goal is to try to use it as an eyeshadow fill-in kind of shade, because I rolled out the other one that I just showed you. I use that to fill in my brows, so I'm gonna replace that function with this guy. And this is what I have in my eyebrows today. I think the color looks pretty nice and I like it. I made like the smallest dip right here. I don't think you can tell any difference. I've been using it for probably like 3-4 days just to make sure that it works fine, and yep, I don't think there's really any visible use in there. And I noticed that this powder is pretty densely packed in there, so it's not gonna kick up any powder. It probably will go slow. So I'm a little nervous about it. I think this one might take me a really long time to actually hit pan. But that's it, guys. I'm really excited about this. I think it's going way better than I imagined in the first month. I did not expect myself to hit pan on 3 shades already. And I think next month I can also make some damage. I can definitely roll some products out. I can hit pan on a couple of things, I think. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this theory so far. I know it's the beginning, but I'm super pumped and excited about it still. And make sure you go check out the other ladies. And thank you guys for watching. Bye.